AcademyFM. The sound of Folkestone.
Joined on the phone by Ben Montague. You alright, Ben?
Hey, how you doing? You alright?
I'm good, mate. Thank you for joining us on the show. It's
My pleasure.
It must be a brilliant and a busy time for you at the moment, of course, with a new album and new single on the way. But we just want to quickly rewind back to the single Haunted. It's where I first kind of heard of you. And I mean, what was that all like for you? Because you got loads of exposure and radio play from that.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was a strange one, really, because I got that on radio, being an independent artist. I hadn't been, I wasn't signed to a major label or anything like that, and it was all kind of done off my own back. It got heard by a radio plugger at a gig I did, and he kind of approached me and said, "Oh, it'd be good for you to maybe sort of take that in as a single to stations." And I was like, "Really? That's great." And I recorded an EP, and then the next thing I knew, I was kind of had record of the week, and it was a bit all suddenly very quick.
Yeah.
So I had to go and record an album, and I did that at my mate's my mate's house in his spare bedroom.
Yeah, because there's a good story about that, isn't there?
Balancing it on the floor to try to not let the floorboards creak too much.
I love that.
But yeah, no, it was good. I was very lucky, and then sort of fast forward a little bit. I've coming into 2011, I signed a deal, and I've now made a proper album down at Rockford Studios with Dave Erringer.
Yeah, of course. As you said, I mean, that story as well, I read that about you having to stand on the piece of wood to stop the floorboard creaking.
Yeah,
I mean, and of course, nowadays, are you in the studio creating music? What was it like back then, having, to go around someone's house and doing all these things just to try and make your music sound perfectly?
Well, you can make such great records from home studios now that, I was really lucky. My mate Cliff, I came down to his house, and it was quite funny. We put a mattress and a duvet over my head to make soundproofing, and then in order to get the vocals, so you couldn't, because you can pick, obviously the mic can pick up any sound. So we put this wooden floorboard plank basically down on his carpet, and I had to stand in certain places so you didn't hear those sort of creaking of the floorboards. But it's wicked, I feel very lucky. I do all my sort of writing and stuff. If I'm working with anybody, I'll work in the studio with them, or they'll come to my place and we'll write at my flat in London. But yeah, it was an amazing feeling to go down to such a well-known studio like Rockfield, where where Coldplay had recorded and Palantini had recorded and Queen had recorded. So it was an awesome feeling to have a proper producer. Not that Cliff wasn't a proper producer, but to have someone who's had hits with the Manic Street Preachers and stuff like that.
No, yeah, it's brilliant. And of course, Ben Montague's tips, by the way, if you're looking to do a home studio, it's a mattress over the head and standing on a little piece of wood. That's how you get the best quality out of a home studio. There we go. Of course, the deal came, didn't it, shortly after Haunted? I mean, was that relief for you, or was you happy being independent? I mean, what were your emotions after the deal came?
It took a long time, and the music industry is tough. You've got to. It's got to have thick skin, and you've got to, work hard. And I did a lot of gigs, and I gigged around the country quite a few times. So I was just playing anywhere and everywhere. And before that, I kind of got my chops, doing pub and club gigs.
Yeah.
You kind of hone your craft a little bit. And I guess when the deal came, it was me. I mean, I changed management. Originally it was my friend managing me, and then I kind of felt I needed to have a sort of more substantial management team. So I got picked up by a guy called Matt Page, who looks after Feeder, and then together we just said, right, we're going to start from the ground up and work hard, and hopefully we'll get a deal. And we ended up actually signing with a label called Music Sounds, which goes through EMI Services. So it was an amazing feeling.
It's brilliant. And of course, from there, you've gone on to support. I mean, you supported The Wanted, but the name which really stands out for me is you supported the Stereophonics, haven't you? I mean, that must just be brilliant to be rung up and asked to support, people who aren't just hitting the charts, but also people who are actually quite legendary in the music game.
Well, for me, the Stereophonics are probably my favourite band of all time. One of my favourite bands of all time. And when I got that call, I was just, I mean, that was an incredible feeling. And actually, setting up on stage, I'd never had anybody sort of set my gear up for me. It was quite strange. And got these people kind of running around thinking, do you like your monitor like that? Do you want this like that? And I was like, yeah, whatever, it's fine.
Yeah.
And then I got to meet, obviously, Pelly and the guys, and they're just inspirational, really.
And that there was Ben Montague last year. We'll hear more of that interview after CeeLo Green, and it's I Want You.
Hey, I love the nightlife, yes I do, it's so much fun.
We are kind of like quite a small town, but you came to Folkestone, of course. You played in Sheraton, you played the Tower Theatre, didn't you? Our very own Adam Dowling compared the gig. I mean, what's it like playing... What was it like, first of all? I'm going to put the question bluntly to you. What was it like playing in Folkestone? Did you enjoy the experience?
I loved it. Yeah, and it was wicked, actually. A really great gig. I'm hoping to come back and play the main theatre soon. But yeah, no, it was awesome. Really lovely gig, and the guys that put the gig on for me had... they were sort of fans of the first songs, Haunted and Broken, and it was a lot. I still pinch myself. I come to town where I'm not from, and to play to an audience that want to hear my songs and that just are there to hear me sing. I feel very lucky to be doing that. So it was a great gig, and I didn't get to actually experience Folkestone. I was kind of in and out, but it was great fun, and I hope to come back soon.
No, yeah, definitely come down. Of course, we've got the Tower Theatre, we've got the Courthouse as well, we've got the massive Lees Cliff Hall. It'd be great to see you down here, and when you do come down, pop in. Make sure you come up and pop
Definitely,
in.
no, I will definitely come and have a chat.
Yeah, no, that'd be brilliant. So playing gigs is a massive part, but of course making music, getting into the studio, that's what you do. I mean, music is everything to you. You're a musician, and your album, Tales of Flying and Falling, what can you tell us about it? What's the sound of your album?
It's quite a big... I mean, I'm a huge fan of quite epic songs, like epic sort of pop songs. I mean, I'm a big fan of Coldplay and Snow Patrol and songs that really kind of take you on a journey. So I kind of really wanted to inject that into my album. I mean, working with someone like Dave Erringham was great because obviously I come from quite a pop background with the sort of singer-songwriter songs that I write, and he comes from quite a rock background, obviously doing all the Mannix albums. So it was a good fusion, really. But we stayed true to trying to make them sort of as sing-along and as anthemic as possible. So, there's a couple of good moments where everybody can have a whoa sort of chanting chorus. And it's a kind of a roller coaster lyrically. I mean, it's about a relationship that I went through that kind of, started off good, went a bit bad, broke up, got back together. And I wanted to make an album that wasn't just about kind of the breakups and the sad times. It was also about, how life influences a relationship, and hopefully people will hear that. Things from work to to family, to all things can influence how a relationship goes. And I think that it's a journey that two people go on together, and it kind of loads of things can happen in it. So hopefully people will be able to hear what I went through and relate to everything, and hopefully they'll like all the tunes.
No, yeah, it's brilliant to hear that there's actually an album being put out there, and not only that, but singles as well, like artists like yourself who are actually telling stories. It's not just like, kind of one song and then another random song in there, or maybe a few pop songs on there. Do you know what I mean? It's great to know that the album's going to tell a story. Yeah,
it really does. I mean, songs that kind of stick out for me personally on the album are there's a song called Liberty Road, which is quite a funny story behind that. I don't know if you've got time, but I basically I avoided going on this street called Carnaby Street in London because I knew that this girl worked just down the road from there, and I thought I'll wait till she goes. I knew she started work at 10 o'clock, so I thought if I go there at 10:10, she'll definitely go and be there.
Yeah.
And actually I bumped into her. As soon as I stepped on the road, I bumped into her. And I like the idea of telling a story of kind of like the street corner telling the story, like the street corner sees cars crashing, it sees people having a cup of coffee, sees dogs barking, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I saw that it was next to a building called the Liberty Building, and I just liked the title Liberty Road because it kind of
It tells the story. It's part of the story.
It's hope. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, definitely. Of course, if you can tell a story in your music, I don't know, and it's a love story, maybe we could hear 50 Shades of Ben Montague one day. It could all work out, couldn't it? So your single is Another Hard Fall. It's out on the 26th of August. We're going to play it next, so make sure you go out there, support Ben Montague's brand new music, Another Hard Fall. Would you like to introduce it for us while we play it? Thank you for joining us.
I know, I'd love to. Thanks so much for having me. My name's Ben Montague, and this is my new single, Another Hard Fall.
Academy FM Folkestone
on 105.9 FM
and online at academyfmfolkstone.com.